what does it fundamentally mean if someone or something is described as erudite?
Well, all the sources pretty much line up on this. At its heart, erudite means having or showing knowledge that you get from, well, studying.
Okay, so it's not just innate intelligence, it's earned knowledge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Possessing or displaying erudition. That's the key noun form.
So terms like having or showing great knowledge or learning.
Yes, or characterized by deep, extensive learning. Yeah, words like learned, scholarly, well-read, those are right there at the core. Synonyms.
Got it. And you mentioned it feels formal. The sources picked up on that too, right?
They did. Merriam-Webster, WordPandit, Cambridge, they all flag it as generally used in more formal language.
It carries a bit of weight.
Definitely. You probably wouldn't describe your weekend barbie gossip as erudite.
Oh, probably not.
That formality might even hint at the dedication it takes to become erudite.
And Cambridge added this interesting layer. It mentioned knowledge that is known by very few people.
Ah, yes. That adds a nice nuance, doesn't it?
It does. It feels like it goes beyond just being generally well-read. It hints at something more specialized.
Right. Maybe knowledge that requires a lot of effort or maybe access to certain resources to acquire. Something that sets it apart from common knowledge.
Okay, so we're building this picture. Deep, definitely studied, maybe specialized knowledge, often discussed formally. But the word itself, erudite, it sounds, well, learned. Does the origin story tell us anything? Where does it actually come from?
Oh, the origin is fantastic. It really eliminates the meaning. It comes straight from Latin.
Okay. Latin, what's the word?
Eruditus.
Eruditus. And that comes from?
A Latin verb, erudire.
Erudire, okay.
And this is where it gets really cool. Erudire meant, yes, to instruct, to educate, to teach, but its literal meaning was to bring out of the rough.
To bring out of the rough. Wow. That's a powerful image.
Isn't it? Like polishing something raw, shaping it.
So how does the word itself show that?
Well, you break down erudire. It's made of the prefix e, which means out or out of, away from, combined with the adjective rudis.
Rudis. And what does rudis mean? Don't tell me.
Yep. It means rude, ignorant, unskilled, rough, unlearned.
Wait, seriously, rude. As in our modern English word rude.
That's the one. It's the source. And you have to think about what rude originally meant, too.
Okay.
Not just impolite, but also lacking refinement, uncivilized, sort of, raw, basic, unfinished.
Okay, the penny drops. So erudire, to bring someone out of that rough, unlearned, rudest state.
Precisely. Someone erudite has been polished, educated, instructed away from that state of ignorance or roughness.
They've been refined through learning, transformed.
That's exactly it. The etymology itself tells the story of learning as a process of refinement, moving from rough to polished.
That's fantastic. That image really sticks. And this isn't a new word in English, is it?
No, not at all. The sources put its first known use around the early 15th century.
So we've been talking about this concept being polished by learning for a long time.
Hundreds of years.
Okay, so speaking of being polished and learned, if we don't use erudite, what are some other words? Synonyms.
Well, you've got those core ones we mentioned. Educated, knowledgeable, learned.
Lettered, literate, scholarly, well-read.
Right. And then there are others that maybe add a slightly different shade of meaning.
Like what?
Things like cultivated, intellectual, informed, academic, cerebral, even highbrow or refined. They sort of lean into that polished intellectual aspect.
Yeah, those paint a fuller picture. And the opposite, the antonyms, they'd be the rough state, I guess.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Ignorant, uneducated, illiterate, unlettered, unlearned, uninformed. Maybe unrefined fits in there too, connecting back to that origin.
It really helps to see the contrast. Okay, so let's talk usage. How do we actually see erudite used in the wild? Who or what gets described this way?
Well, often it's people, right? People who've clearly dedicated themselves to deep study.
Like an erudite scholar.
Exactly. Or erudite people in medical research. An erudite writer, an erudite student, even just an urbane erudite man.
And it's not just people, is it? It can be used for things they produce.
Definitely. You see an erudite lecture, an erudite book, an erudite commentary, an erudite discussion, an erudite approach.
So the work itself reflects that deep learning.
Precisely. The word signals that the content isn't superficial. It's backed by serious study and knowledge.
The examples in the sources got really specific too, talking about like deep dives into philosophy or classic authors, legal history.
Yeah, ancient history, complex symbolism in art, detailed climate research, examining historical rights.
Hebrew jurisprudence, classical Chinese script, I mean, really dense stuff.
Right. It fits naturally when you're talking about topics that just require that deep background and careful analysis. It tells you this isn't just an opinion piece. There's substance there.
Okay, quick practical check before we move on. How do we say it? Make sure we're getting the pronunciation right.
Good point. It's ERUDITE.
ERUDITE. Got it. 3 syllables.
Yep. ERUDITE.
And did the sources have any, tricks to remember it, memory tips?
WordPad had a couple of fun ones. You could think of someone who is educated, right?
Educated, right. Okay.
Or connect it back to the origin. Erud, like the opposite of rude, because learning has refined them.
Ah, I like that one. Erude. Away from rude.
Or even breaking it down like ERU for education really unlocked.
Huh. Okay, those are pretty handy. Simple, but they work.
Yeah, little hooks to keep it straight.
No, this is interesting. That Reddit thread we looked at, it brought up a distinction, something really important, I think.
Ah, yes. The difference between being erudite and being wise.
Exactly. Talk about that. What was the distinction they were making?
Well, the consensus on the thread was pretty clear. Being erudite is about being well-educated, having tons of knowledge, specifically knowledge you got from studying, book learning, essentially.
Okay, deep knowledge from study, but wisdom.
Wisdom, they argued, is different. It's about having knowledge, yes, but also having the experience and the good judgment to use that knowledge effectively, to make better decisions.
So you can know everything there is to know about, say, ancient naval battles.
Be incredibly erudite on that topic.
But still make terrible decisions about navigating your own small boat in a storm.
Exactly. Or, more broadly, you could have immense factual knowledge, but lack the judgment, the discernment, the wisdom to apply it well in life.
So the key takeaway is you can absolutely be erudite, packed full of studied knowledge, but not necessarily be wise.
That's the core distinction they were highlighting. Erudition is about the knowing, gained through study. Wisdom is more about the applying, often informed by experience and reflection.
Wow. That's actually a really crucial clarification. It helps define erudite by showing what it isn't necessarily.
It does. Both are valuable, of course, but they're not the same thing.
Which brings us back to today, to now. How relevant is a word like erudite in our current information age? Does it still hold weight?
The sources, particularly WordPandit, suggest yes, absolutely. Even with information everywhere, the value of deep, carefully acquired intellectual ability, true erudition, hasn't really diminished.
And maybe it stands out even more against all the noise.
Perhaps. And it's not just confined to old-school academia anymore.
Right. Where else do we see it valued?
Well, think about respected public intellectuals, or even some bloggers, podcasters, content creators who really do their homework and provide incredibly in-depth analysis.
Okay, yeah. People who go beyond the surface level.
Exactly. You see erudition valued in online communities focused on complex topics. And it pops up in popular culture, too. Think of famously knowledgeable characters.
Like Sherlock Holmes or maybe Doctor Who. Characters admired for just knowing so much.
Precisely. There's still an admiration for that depth. So even in our fast-paced world, erudition offers something important.
Like what? What's its function now?
Maybe it provides that necessary layer of depth, of careful analysis that can get lost in the flood of information. It reminds us of the value of dedicated, lifelong learning.
That process of moving out of the rough.
Exactly. And maybe bridging complex ideas and communicating them clearly, that often requires a certain level of erudition too.
Okay, wow. We've covered a lot of ground with just one word.
We really have.
So let's try and bring this all together. Quick recap.
Okay, so we dove into erudite. We saw means having or showing deep knowledge, the kind you get from dedicated study.
Learned, scholarly, well-read, often formal.
We tracked down its amazing origin story coming from the Latin for to bring out of the rough, linking rude, as in unrefined, to erudite, as in refined by learning.
That erude connection is great.
We looked at synonyms, antonyms, saw how it's used for both people and their work, lectures, books, analysis.
Pronounced erudite.
Right. And we touched on that really important nuance. You can be erudite without necessarily being wise. Knowledge from study isn't the same as judgment from experience.
That's a critical point.
So ultimately, it's a word signifying a cultivated state of knowledge, something achieved through real intellectual effort and commitment.
It signals depth, a journey from that rough state to a polished one.
Understanding it helps appreciate that whole process.
Which leaves us with that final thought to chew on. In this world just swimming in quick facts, endless scrolling, What is the real value today of that deep studied knowledge that erudite points to?
Yeah.
How does really grasping the depth implied by this word, remembering that journey out of the rough, how might that change how you look at expertise or the information you consume, or maybe even, your own learning path?
Something to think about, definitely.